Alright everyone, it's time for today's first video here. We've got to talk about Kamala Harris's tax proposal with the unrecognized gains tax. The idea of taxing unrealized gains at 25% and increasing the corporate tax rate to nearly 50% by the way in the process is absolutely asinine, makes absolutely no sense, is being panned even by liberal commentators, and link in the description from Barnes Law, actually, is also unconstitutional. Effectively, it's what it would mean, like let's say you hold crypto or something like that. It doesn't matter if the crypto goes up, you have to pay a tax on the gain on the crypto. If it goes down, you don't get money back, by the way. If things go up, you have to pay more taxes. And it's 25% and appears to be flat in the plan. It's not entirely clear. Maybe it's graduated. You're low income, so you're allowed to have Bitcoin or something like that. If you're middle class, then having Bitcoin becomes more risky. I have a feeling that this is a direct attack on crypto more than anything else. Cryptocurrency, that is. I've liquidated some of mine, but I still hold quite a bit of Bitcoin. So disclaimer, financially I am involved in this particular venture. If it goes up, all of a sudden you owe a bunch of money. There's no way to make an actual profit off of the investment. It wouldn't be potentially possible to do so. This is an attack on crypto, number one. An attack on the middle class, number two, and represents basically the underlying underpinning of Kamala Harris's economic platform. More taxes. That's the long and short of it. With Donald Trump, you get lower taxes. You get him expanding his tax credits and proposals, the lowering of the brackets and so forth. And taking a hands-off approach. I think that Ramaswamy was involved with that, by the way. Probably gave Donald Trump a brief primer on cryptocurrency, etc. And so he doesn't really necessarily, he's not an expert in the situation, but he knows the basics of it. And Ramaswamy, I think, would be part of the administration at this point. He's been pretty visible on the campaign trail. With Kamala Harris, you get an attack on crypto directly, and you get definitely a tax proposal that, I mean, it wouldn't pass. That's the silver lining on a very, very dark cloud. But you get the doubling of the corporate tax rate, and then you get the unrealized capital gains tax, which doesn't even make sense. It's been warned about even by left-wing commentators. They're warning that, hey, this is going to collapse the economy. I happen to agree with them. I think that this would absolutely destroy U.S. industry. I think it would absolutely destroy U.S. commerce. It would be absolutely terrible for the economy. We're at a moment right now, we'll be talking about the jobs report separately later. You've got the unemployment rate rising. And new U.S. jobs sharply downward from the original estimate. You have sticky inflation. You have basically everything going wrong that can go wrong at the same time. Hey, let's tax people more. That makes a whole lot of sense. It certainly won't cause investors to flee to foreign shores. Let's say you're a billionaire. And you're looking at the U.S. market and you're like, well, I can invest in the United States. I'm going to get taxed out the asshole. Or I can put my money in China. And they're not going to tax me at all. As long as I play nice with the regime that's there, everything will be fine. Where are you going to put your money? You're trying to make money. That's the only thing that is on your mind. It has nothing to do with patriotism or civics or anything like that. If your own government is going to screw you in the ass, why would you put your money in that country? No, you're going to offshore it. You're going to put it in China, you're going to put it in Vietnam, you're going to put it in Thailand, you're going to put it in Argentina. Yeah, Argentina's probably a good buy right now. Javier Milei appears to have the same economic magic wand that Donald Trump had, actually. No, that's where you're going to put it. You're not going to put it in the United States economy. So all of that money is going to flood offshore effectively and go elsewhere. It'll be invested in other countries. Well, that's just wonderful. That's just peachy keen, as my dad would say. An unrealized capital gains tax is literally insane. The concept is fucking nuts. And this is an actual proposal from the Kamala Harris campaign. I wouldn't expect anything else from it. Trump definitely needs to target this. By the way, this is a big talking point that he needs to nail home. He needs to explain to people, and he's been better at explaining things lately, so my hope is that he's successful at this. You need to explain to people why it's insane, what the economic fallout would be. Explain to them exactly what it means to them in their own personal lives. It means shit, basically. It means terrible things. And that's the truth. There's no way to parse it. There's no way to water it down. There's no way to, side explain it or anything like that and try to make an excuse for it. It would be very, very bad for people, generally speaking. It would wreck the economy. Not that her other proposals weren't bad enough. I mean, when we're talking about giving $25,000 to people to buy a first home, you're talking about dragging people in the socioeconomic class that should not be buying homes. No offense to you. I know what it's like to be poor. But you should not be taking on a mortgage. You're not going to be able to afford it. That's a bad idea. When we're talking about raising the child tax credit, I saw on WCAX, actually, that's the local news. That's for Northern New York, Vermont, and New Hampshire. They were talking about how Kamala wanted a $6,000 a year child tax credit. But that's not even reality. Actually, it's $3,600 a year after the first year. Vance was talking about $5,000. That appears to be what Trump is going with. You get actually more money under the Trump-Vance plan. Shh, WCAX is far left. There's a reason that they were covering for that. Her proposals make no sense. Price caps. We're talking about Soviet Union-style economics. Can people not see that this is literally socialism? It is. It's plain as day, and it's disgusting, number one, and it's insane, number two. Yeah, unrealized capital gains tax. That'll go over really well with the investing crowd. They won't offshore their money. No, the people that have the money to invest will flee with their money. And I know they can say, well, it's only $100 million cap on some of these proposals or something like that. It doesn't matter. You're talking about a significant number of people who make a significant number of jobs. You're talking about businesses that are rich on paper, that are worth that amount of money, which has been Biden-flated, so, you only need a regional chain to be worth $100 million. You make a lot of money on paper, but in reality, you're really not making a terrible amount of profit. You've got to pay your employees, you've got to pay the electrical bill, that's gone up. You've got to pay the gas bill, that's gone up, etc., etc. And now you're saying, well, if you have any profit at all, we're going to cut it even further. It's just the government trying to get more money in order to pay for pet programs and shit like that. Basically for pet projects. We built a bridge. Well, maybe it's a bridge to nowhere. You remember the Sarah Palin era and that? Do you remember Solyndra? Yeah, the government's totally going to use your money in a responsible manner. They're so good at doing that, by the way. That's about all. Peace out.